finished with it? Great. Now we're going to talk about how we speak the way we speak, and trying to figure out who are we, who's the real you. As an example, for instance, what I said before, who are you? For instance, you could say what? What is this one here?
I'm hiding.
I'm hiding. I'm hiding. In other words, I'm shy. I'm hiding. Okay. Okay. So you at times you could be this too, isn't it? Sometimes some of us are shy, right? Okay. So you hiding, shy because of what's going on in your life and so on and so forth. You shy. Okay. That's one part. You could be that, or the next one is what? Boredom. Boredom means again. Oh, this is really getting bored. You know what I mean? That kind of stuff.
Wait, and action.
Okay, this is an example to show you how many different personalities. We're talking about personalities now. How we are. For instance, hiding. It's a personality. That means what? That you're shy and so on and so forth. So that's part of who we could be. We could be, yes. At the same time, I am hiding. Also, to hiding, we need to see where does that come from. Hiding. Hiding. Does it live at a human level, or does it live at a being level? I should say that it lives at a human level, because it's a negativism, isn't it? Hiding doesn't bring you much good in life, doesn't it? Being shy, in other words, you're missing a lot out of life. So that's one part. We could be shy, hiding. The next one is I am bored. Boredom. Again, watch the word I am, how many ways we use that, because I need to show you something else about it. Maybe I should say it right now. For instance, I am hiding, what we said before. Instead of saying I am shy, you could say I feel shy. See, you change the word I am to I feel. That makes a tremendous difference, because anything that follows I am, it follows in such a manner that it gives a declaration to yourself, to others, and the world at large. So you're making a statement. That means, again, if you're shy or you're bored, what can you create when you're bored, when you're shy? Nothing more, nothing less but boredom. You could create more of the same, you see? But that's not who you really are, that's how you feel. So both of them, hiding and boredom, they live at a human level. And that's not who you really are. That's not your seed, that's not your beginning. This is who you really are, at a being level, the spirit. So it doesn't live here. Boredom and hiding lives at a human level. Let's go to the next one. Next one we have sadness. I am sad. Same thing here. I am sad. Anybody who's sad cannot create happiness. It's impossible. So you should say, I feel sad. Then it's different. Knowing who you are, that you're a perfect being, having a human experience called sadness. You see the difference? Tremendous difference. Instead of saying, I am sad, is I am a perfect being having a human experience called sadness. So sadness also lives at a human level. Okay? We'll go to the next one. This is a quick showing. We could stay on forever on these ones. Victim. Oh, this is a good one. This is excellent. Why is it excellent? Because you could be a victim of yourself, you could be a victim of others, and you could also be a victim of life as a whole. Life does it to me. Life stinks.
Victim start.
Sorry?
You can start with victim, yeah.
Okay. Victim. Here's another good one. As a matter of fact, this is one which is, wow, used quite often. Quite often, I mean, is that we could be a victim of ourselves. In other words, when you're shy, when you're sad, when you're bored, you become a victim of yourself. And at the same time, you're also a victim of other people. And you also could be a victim of life as a whole. Meaning, I'm not lucky, life does it to me, I was born in the wrong time, all kinds of nonsense. So, also victim lives at a human level, but here you need to say again, I am a perfect being having a human experience called victimized, or victimization, whatever you want to call it. Yes? Great. Now we go to the next one. Angry. Oh my goodness. This is just as good as the other one. Who has not experienced being angry? Wow. So angry, when you say I am angry, again, an angry person cannot fix anything. When you're angry, there's no way that you could fix anything. If anything, you could destroy things, as a matter of fact, when you're angry. Well, I was angry, that's why I hit him. You know, that kind of, that kind of answer that you give to yourself. So here again, when you say I am angry, it's the wrong thing to say. As a matter of fact, you need to say I am a perfect being having a human experience called anger. In other words, you're experiencing anger. Now, coming from you're okay, you could calm yourself down. That's simple. But if you're coming from a place of being angry, you're doubling it and you're quadrupling it until you don't know when to stop, until somebody gets killed, including you possibly. That is not who you are. That is a feeling that you have about anger. In that anger, angry lives. The other one is, wow, I can't read it upside down. Covert, oi, covert hostility. Oi. This is a cute one. If you look at the picture, you're trying to be nice, and at the same time, I'm gonna get you. So this is the same approach here. Is almost being angry without showing it. So again, that's not who you are, that's a feel that you have. And you're going again, this lives also at a human level, and it belongs there, and it cannot be fixed by it. If anything gets worse. Here we have interest. Here we're beginning to change a bit. Look at the picture itself. It tells the whole story. Interest meaning, I'm listening. Doesn't sound so bad. It's not what I thought it was. You know, that kind of a thing, even if somebody approaches you about something, and you're beginning to listen properly from your being, not from your human, and you're beginning to grow. You're beginning to allow things to come into your life. This one here, first one, lives at a being level, not at the human level. And take a look at the picture itself. It's beginning to be happy because there's something nice is happening to you and you're interested in it. Okay? And the last one is enthusiasm. This is where everybody wants to be. This is a place where when you're enthusiastic, it's very, how do you say that? When you bring somebody else also enthusiasm to others, and it becomes infectious, something like that. So this is a perfect place to be because that's the beginning of everything, I would call it. Actually, the beginning is the interest. Then for interest, you go into enthusiasm because you like what you see and you like what you hear, and before you know, it catches on. That's what I was trying to say. It catches on into others. You attract others to you. For instance, if you want to have a great relationship or anything like that, worthwhile in your life, it begins by being enthusiastic about whatever it is that's going on. So this also lives at a being level. The differences here now, if you notice, the wording. See, what I'm trying to get at is that even the way we speak, we don't realize how much damage we do to ourselves and to others, how we speak and the words that we use. Words have power, just like God said, I am that I am, or let there be light, or be still and know that I am God. All these things have been said in such a manner and precise way that have power. So our word has power. And that's what's very important to catch on to, that we should not just use words just for the sake of using them and had no importance or put it, no meaning behind it. They do have it. So here you need to change from I am to I feel. Because anything that you say after the words I am, what needs to be followed by is a perfect being having a human experience called enthusiasm. You could say that too, or you could actually say I am an enthusiasm. And you are, because at a being level, there's no way that you cannot be. That's why I'm saying get high on life. At a being level, there's so many beautiful things that happen that could really, really make you high. With no drugs, no drinking, nothing of that sort. Just by naturalness, being at a spirit level, at a being level. So you don't need anything else. You just need to be at a being level, period. And then you can be creative. You can have the energy. You are one with nature, with life. That's what's called team play. Okay, so, ready? So this also to enthusiasm lives at a being level. And that's what's very important. And that's what's called, is also at a being level. And that's what's, again, that's who you really are. That's who we really are. This being at the being level is the real us. And we forgot who we really are. That's what's so sad about it. And I'm here to remind you of it. And that's also too when you need to play as a team player, you need to be at a being level, because that way it's the team that wins, not the ego, your ego. Amen. Yeah, we were talking about and discussing about the human and the being and what has happened last week, September 11th, you know, and you say, where was God? And why didn't it stop him? You know, this is the essence behind it, really. It's like he has given us a choice, and we have both, a human and a being. And then you need to know who's in charge of these two. And it's obvious that these people's life in charge is not the being, is not the spirit, so they say it is. But let's be honest about it. To destroy, it has to be the human to destroy. The being, love does not destroy. And if God did not give us a choice, it would be like robots.
Right.
We would do everything that we were programmed about. And you said before, it's true, we are programmed. Yes, we are, by the media and all that stuff. But at the end, you have to have, what's the word I'm looking for? Make the decision. And to see which one is it. The human or the being that was actually telling you what to do. And it should never be the human, because the human is so selfish. To such a point, is always want to be right. It always wants to win.
It wants revenge. That's
It
what
wants
a human
revenge,
wants.
and so on and so forth. And before you know, it becomes a bigger problem that eventually it's so difficult to get out of it.
Mm-hmm.
And as I said before, Einstein said very well that you cannot solve a problem at the same level that it was caused the problem.
Mm-hmm.
So if the human has caused the problem to destroy somebody, and then you want to find an answer to fix it, you only have to fix it because it gives you 1,000 reasons why you did it.
Right.
These people that did that, and they have their reasons why they did it. And for them, their reason is right. They did what they did, otherwise they wouldn't do it. See, that's how powerful the human of us can be. I mean, it's so intelligent to cover up. So the human, when does a problem and then is trying to fix it, it's not fixing it really. We think it is, but it's camouflaging it.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a true fix. That's why when people take drugs, they say, I need a fix. It's so perfectly, because it's not solving the problem, it's a fix. A fix means
Repair.
temporary
Yeah.
repair. So we need to come to a conclusion where preventing is much better instead of fixing. You know, when something is broke, the fixing, it's camouflaging the problem, but preventing it. So that's why the being needs to be in charge of our life most of the time.
Right.
Not always. So that way you don't have to fix anything. You prevent. But we live in a society, everything is about fixing and fixing and fixing. But I think we're beginning to realize that the fixing is not such a good place to live by. Just
No,
like
because
now
God
we have-
knows what can happen before you
Yeah.
start to fix it.
That's right.
What's going to be the reason you're going to fix?
You see, now that all this happened on Tuesday, now we're going to fix. But those people are dead. You tell those people and see, or the parents, or whatever, or the family, or those people who die there, it's too late for them to fix.
Hmm.
That's the whole thing behind it, instead of preventing for it to happen. But we could do that our own self, our own personal life, by choosing the being to be in charge. Because we're both a human and a being.
Hmm.
And when you see that you're thinking negative, you're thinking destructive, all that kind of stuff, then you better know that who's thinking for you is the human. It's not the being that is thinking for you. So you could do this kind of work for yourself, by yourself. And now you could ask me, when do I do this? You could do this anytime you have free time. I do it even when I do exercises, when I go to the gym.
Mhm.
I really do this, and it's been a blessing for me. Matter of fact, this is another reason that attracts me to go to the gym, because what I do is I do exercise for my body, and I meditate. That means I also
Exercise your mind.
fix my mind.
You
Fix
fix?
my mind. So I do two things in one, and it helps. and then how do I do this? Very simple. I can show you right now. I even do it before I go to sleep, or in the morning, or during the night when I cannot sleep. And I could do it on a breathing exercises. In other words, let's say, let me do it right now, because for me to explain it, it's not easy. Breathe in, I. Breathe out, am. Breathe in, breathe out, perfect. Breathe in, being. Breathe out, having. Breathe in, breathe out, human. Breathe in, experience. Breathe out, call. Breathe in, life. Matter of fact, when I go to the gym, what I do is I use, if I'm on the treadmill,
Hmm.
I use the steps that I do on the treadmill, and do that. The I am a perfect being having a human experience, and I break that down exactly. Like for instance, if I hit the treadmill with my right foot, I go I. My left foot is am. Right foot left foot perfect, and so on down the whole concept. Or I can actually even do it sometimes at the beginning. What I do is every time I hit my right foot, I repeat to myself, for instance, right foot I, left foot nothing, back to my right foot am.
What a perfect time to do it when you're trying to.
Exactly. And I close my
Focus,
eyes,
huh?
because by closing my eyes, what happens, I diminish the view. I'm not distracted by the view, what's going on. And the view is sometimes it's pretty girls with shorts on and so on and so forth. That's a nice distraction. But there are other things that distract you. So you're concentrating and you're becoming one with your exercise, fully, mentally and physically.
So what else can you do besides meditation and repeating this to yourself? What can you do as an action to show that you are a perfect being having a human experience? How can you bring it into your life?
Okay, the test is that, let's say you something went wrong, or you did something wrong, meaning you upset somebody, you had a fight with somebody, a quarrel with somebody, something that you know that was not the way, the result is obvious. It's like that you're upset,
Yeah.
and you made other people upset. So how do you handle that? In other words, when something has happened, there's nothing you can do about it. It has happened. But what's important here is, how do you fix what has happened in your mind, you see?
Mm-hmm.
So you know what to do next time instead of saying, well, I'm not going to do that next time again. What does that mean? I'm not going to do that next time again. You see, if you don't change your thinking, in other words, about it, you're bound to do it again. And then you say, well, I can't help it. That's the way I am. I guess that's my personality. I get angry all the time. I get angry on very small stuff. I can't be bothered and all that stuff. So what you need to do, because I did this with hair. Let me give you an example. When I did hair, especially at the beginning, well, I was not so sure of myself what I was doing. And I knew that at the end of doing somebody's hair, I was not too happy with it, even so they liked it, let's say. But I knew that I could do better. Okay? Same thing in life. You know you can do better by, instead of losing your temper, how not to lose your temper. So I would go home, and before I would go to sleep, I would go over in my mind what I went through, what I did with the haircut, and I could actually visualize. I could actually see my hands moving, the way I did it, how I did it. And then I tried different ways in my mind how I should have done it instead. For instance, I could have cut it a certain place less instead of more. I could have left a little longer here, a little shorter there. What would it look like? See, the greatest thing about that we possess is our mind. And if it's used properly, you'd be amazed what it can do for us. So the imagination, you see a true picture in your mind. And you could do those kind of exercises whenever you have some time by yourself, for yourself. And then, so what I did, I replaced my boo-boos, the boo-boo, that mistake that I made with the haircut, let's say, with something which, and I try, when I go back to the salon and do someone's hair, not necessarily that particular person again, but someone else who wants almost the same kind of a haircut, the same kind of style. I already knew how not to do the mistake that I made with the other person.
Mm-hmm. So you're preventing it by seeing what...
I would make other mistakes, don't misunderstand me. But at the same time, I would not make the same mistake again that I did with the other person, see?
And that's progress.
And that's progress, that's right. And before you know what you're doing actually, you're getting in touch with your being, with your spirit, with your true self.
Mm-hmm.
And you're allowing that being to show up. Instead of the human being in charge, you're beginning to have the being be in charge of what you need to do. Then, you see, this is where I get a preciseness about it. Meaning what? That then the human is only a vehicle, a tool, just like the scissors is a tool of doing the hair, then becomes a tool of what the style should be about. In other words, the being tells the human what to do. See, the being is the coach, again, like we said before, and the human is the player, plays the game of life. But it's the being that is the coach of life that tells us what to do, what not to do, what to say, what not to say, what to think, what not to think.
Mm-hmm.
The problem becomes is when the human does both, is the coach and the player. And how do we know that? But simply you ask yourself the question, who's thinking? In other words, when you're by yourself, you could do this exercise. And the exercise is like, we always thinking in life, no matter what we're doing. And you could ask yourself the question, who's thinking right now for me? Is the human or the being? And you know who's thinking because you can't lie to yourself. Let's be honest. You got to be honest with yourself. And you don't have to cover up because there's nobody around.
It's just you.
It's just you and you. And you see it that you're thinking, like, for instance, I'll give you an example. If the human is in charge, the thinking is on the negative side. What does that mean? That means if you had something, a quarrel or something with somebody, in a relationship, with the boss, with co-worker, whatever you live with, and your human now is thinking and saying, oh, I know what to say. Oh, that's right. Yeah, I could say this. I wasn't there. I don't remember You're telling me this. In other words, it's lying. It's covering up. So to make you look good. So the human is protecting the human all the time. So you know that you're lying to yourself. So you know that the human is in charge because it's not coming up with an answer of, you know something, next time I'm going to see my wife or my boyfriend, my girlfriend, my boss, my coworker, whatever, I'm really going to say, you know something, I think I made a mistake. I need to apologize to you. I lost my temper too easily. I really did not understand you. Whatever it is that was going on, you could tell that it's the being is in charge.
Mm-hmm.
Why is the being in charge? Simply because the being wants to make peace with yourself and with others. And if you cannot make peace with yourself, within your thinking, in other words, yes, you cannot make peace with anybody else. It's impossible. So if you're upset still within yourself, it's very simple to realize that your human is in charge still.
Mm-hmm.
You're listening to your human that comes up with all kinds of excuses and reasons why you did what you said, what you did. So you don't have to be a genius. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to have all kinds of degrees to know what I'm talking about.
You just have to know thyself.
Yes, know thyself, exactly. See, once you know yourself, you're beginning to know others.
Mm-hmm.
Why? Because then you realize where our others are, really. Are they at the being level or they are at a human level? See, that's the beauty of it. Not only that you're discovering yourself, but you're also discovering others. And you can handle it better. When someone comes to you and says something angry and whatnot, you know they are at a human level. But if you stay within your being level, your spirit, you could handle it. But if you stay at a human level, you're going to have a fight.
Mm-hmm.
Because two humans can fight. Because they have two different personalities at a human level. But two beings cannot fight. Do you know why?
Why?
Ask me why.
Two beings cannot fight?
Cannot fight.
Because they're the same.
Exactly. Perfect. There is no two beings. You see it?
Everyone.
There's only one being. Being and being, spirit and the spirit is the same. They're not two, there's one. There's only one. Because God is one. But two humans are two humans. See? Because there's two different personalities.
Exactly. That's where individuality comes in.
Exactly. That's the experience, quote unquote, called a human experience. But at a being level, there is no two, there's no three, there's no four, there's no time. Someone, by the way, I was watching the Yankee Stadium that they had the thing about yesterday. I think it was a rabbi, if I'm not mistaken. I don't remember his name. Says, we are into numbers, how many got killed. You know, at the prom that we had in New York City. And he says, only one got killed at 6,000 times. There were 6,000 some hundred missing. That's what he meant by that. Because we are one at a spirit level, at a being level.
Mm-hmm.
We are many different bodies died. 6,700 some bodies died. Because at a human level, we're all different. We all have different bodies, different thinking, different whatever. But at a spirit level, at a being level, we're all the same. That means we're all one. God is one, and God created all of us. At a being level, at a spirit level, we are one. Many humans, one being, one spirit. See, if we see in that kind of clearness about who we are, a human being, about who we really are, is a being having a human experience, then it's easier to forgive others. Because you could see the being about others, the spirit about others.
Mm-hmm.
Spirit and spirit have no quarrel because they're both at a level of love. Human and human will always have a quarrel because they are at who's right and who's wrong. I want to win, that means you're going to lose. So these two play two different games completely.
Mm-hmm.
Spirit plays at it. I win, you win, let's get together here. Let's do whatever we got to do and accomplish the purpose. The human, no. that has to show that he's better than you, he's this than you, he's stronger than you, all kinds of stuff that goes into it. The ego, in other words. And there is no end to it. So the problem that we're having, a lot of us, is that most of us, if not a lot of us, most of us live at a human level.
Mm-hmm.
Because of that, problems come up. The human causes problems, period. But that's what life is, you see? That's the experience life, we experience life at a human level, yes? But we can inject into that love, which is the being, and still have an experience of life. But we have a whole different experience of life. It's not problems anymore. It's love that we're experiencing. And that's what we're trying to get at, quote unquote. That's why I feel strongly that when you say love, that heaven is within you.
Because love is within you.
Exactly.
And that's what everyone wants, I think, from heaven.
Yeah.
You know, in whatever religion, like, is a bliss, you know?
Yes.
That's not like this life, and I guess that bliss has to be love.
Exactly. We're all looking for that. See, and we don't know that we have it. See, that's my purpose behind it. Trying to tell you that now, this is it. We do have it. We do have it. We're not using it.
And it's so easy to get to.
It's so hidden within us. God is within you. All those expressions. That's what it comes up to. But we don't even know that we do because we've been programmed that we don't have it. By many different religions. And I don't want to get into that category of talking about religions. All of them. And it's obvious because that's why we have the life that we have with so many problems. We need to be free of that. And know that we are a perfect being having human experience or experiences. All of us. If God made us and made us in His image, there's no reason why that each and every one of us cannot be perfect at a being level, at a spirit level, and have a human experience called whatever it is that you're doing. See, when I exercise, I say this. That's my mantra, by the way. When I exercise or when I do meditation now. And if I do this, when I exercise, when I say I'm a perfect being having a human experience, what I say is called, instead of calling it life, I call exercise. So it brings you a present, mentally and physically, spiritually and physically. Human being at that moment at a present, or what is that, what you're doing. That's what's a wonderful exercise to do, to say cause. That's it?
No.
No?
There's still 2 minutes.
That's the difference about it, you see?
Mm-hmm.
Is after the word called, you could put in whatever it is that you experience at the moment as a human. So, for instance, if you're angry, you could say, I'm a perfect being having a human experience called anger. See, within that, starting from a point of being okay, because God created you in His image, and then you're also human, now you could fix about being angry. And you could ask yourself, very simple, what am I angry about? Okay, I'm angry at such and such and such a thing. But that's not who I am, you see? What do I need to do about my anger that is actually controlling me? At that moment, if you are that angry, who's controlling you is your human. It's the anger that's controlling you. You're not controlling your anger. See, when you say, I have a human experience called anger, if you have anger and that anger has you from a being level, that means you can fix your anger. You can let go. And it's usually about what we're angry about most of the time. Because we want to be right. And we want to win.
Pride.
Let's face it. If someone else
Stop.